I'm very happy to be here in Muskegon at the Muskegon Museum of Modern Art. I'm here for the announcement of the winner of the Bennett Prize. So if you've been listening to my podcast, you'll know about the Bennett Prize. It's a prize that was started by Stephen Bennett and his wife, Dr. Elaine Mallotti Smith, and it's to promote and support women artists. It's a $50,000 award over 2 years, and it finishes with a solo exhibition. So there were 700 entries, not 7,000, 700 entries, which were narrowed down to 10 finalists. So yeah, this is it. Tonight's the night. The winner's going to be announced. So let's go in and see what's happening. All right, Jenny Morgan, congratulations. How has the whole experience, from start to finish been for you so far?
Pretty easy, and everyone's been kind and supportive, and it's been a magical process. So, yeah.
Brilliant. And what's it going to mean for you if you win?
Ultimately, it means there's support for this genre and encouragement, and mostly for me, deeper artistic freedom to have this kind of financing. So it'll be impactful in my practice.
Brilliant. What do you think the Bennett Prize in general means for figurative art for women?
I think that it really is a genre that needs a lot of support. Coming from a historical standpoint, there hasn't been a lot of support for this genre. So I think especially now with what's happening in the world and culture and society, it's the appropriate timing, and it's necessary and needed. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, look, best of luck tonight, and talk to you later. Okay, Carrie Pearce, congratulations.
Thank you, John.
What's your experience been like so far?
Amazing work that I can't believe they got all this under one roof in such an amazing way. It's impressive. It's very impressive. Yeah, the skill level is way beyond my expectation.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it, when you see it all together?
Yes.
So what's it going to mean for you if you win?
Wow, that's a good question. I haven't thought that far because I don't want to get my hopes up. If I win, then it will obviously allow me to build a solo show, which that's kind of the whole point. It's very difficult to do a solo show if you're working on 12 paintings and you can't sell any, until the show opens. So it's necessary. Yeah.
And what do you think the Bennett Prize means for figurative art for women just in general?
It's a tangible help that it actually will help women artists. Yeah. It's a real thing that is really helpful. It's not just exposure. It's actual money that will help facilitate their dreams.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, best of luck.
Thank you.
And talk to you later.
Okay.
Stephanie Jackson, congratulations. What's your experience been like so far?
Oh, all the artwork, the paintings are amazing. The artists themselves are actually beautiful. There's been a wonderful turnout from the Muskegon community to support the arts here. And so far, it's just been lovely.
What's it going to mean for you if you win?
Oh, I'll just be tremendously surprised. I mean, it's just very exciting being here, being part of the show. I'm looking forward to it, traveling on so even more people can see it. I mean, and if I win, I'll have more financial independence to continue to do my studio work and to do new projects.
Brilliant. What do you think the Bennett Prize means for figurative art, figurative female artists just in general?
Well, I am just stunned that this is the inaugural first year, because from all over the country, my collectors and former graduate students were emailing me to apply for it, and I had never heard of it. And it was just phenomenal how the word got out, that everyone was so excited about it, and because of the encouragement from my art people, I did apply and shockingly was one of the finalists. But even then, people that didn't know me would say things to like other artists in the community. Did you know someone from Athens, Georgia was one of the finalists? And then they would be like cracking up, like, oh yeah, that's Stephanie Jackson. And so I just can't, I think it's phenomenal how the word got out, how everyone's so excited, how every figurative artist under the sun, heard about it and quite a few applied. And so it's exciting because they have something to work towards maybe in a couple years when it's done again. It'll give them something to look forward to.
Brilliant. Okay, well, look, best of luck tonight, and talk to you later.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Dorielle Caimi, congratulations. What's your experience been like so far?
Hi, John. Thank you. It's been awesome. We've all been really excited and overwhelmed by the work, and of course, having the artists here has been really, really wonderful, and getting to talk to them and gushing over each other's work, and we're all very supportive. It's been really great.
Oh, brilliant. What's it going to mean for you if you win?
What it would mean for me if I won would be I would continue to do my work and probably full time, and get more serious, I guess, than I am already, which is pretty serious. But that would be a great thing to have.
What do you think the Bennett Prize means for women figurative artists generally?
So it actually works to bring awareness. It's a method of voicing a disparity between women artists and men's artists, and when you bring awareness to an issue, that's when it can be resolved. So a prize like this actually helps to bring the entire group, the entire demographic, and raise them up. So it really, there's one winner, but all of us together are kind of working to uplift each other, and that's thanks to the Bennetts.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, look, best of luck tonight, and talk to you later.
Okay.
Daniella Kovacic, did I get that right?
Yes, you got it right.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How has it been for you? How's your experience been so far?
Oh, excellent. I'm really impressed by all the work and everybody. It's just amazing. I'm really happy.
And what does it mean for you? What will it mean for you if you win?
Oh, you cannot make that question. It's like, what would it mean? I don't know. I really don't know. It's just too much. It would be amazing. It's like a life-changing situation, I would say.
Right, okay. Well, and what do you think it means like for figurative art for women, like the whole Bennett Prize?
Oh, I think it's really important, especially, most of the attention goes usually to men, even though half of us or maybe more are women who are doing this work. And it's usually not seen as something like real art. Sometimes I feel, especially here, like it's dismissed a little bit. No, you're not contemporary enough or something. Yeah. But there's a lot of people doing it, and people have been doing it forever, and it's because of something. It's like, I think it's a need, So I think it's really important when it's happening here.
Brilliant. Okay, well, look, best of luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Anika Ingold, congratulations. How has the process been for you so far?
It's been amazing. It's really exciting to be a part of an important event like this for women. I feel really honored to be amongst these really talented female artists, and I entered with, a hope that I could be somewhere amongst them, and this has just been well beyond my hopes and dreams. And the show is incredible. When you look at work in person, when you look at work on social media, it's a very different experience than when you see it in person. And all of the work, every artist that I've seen so far has been more amazing in the flesh. Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's it going to mean for you if you win?
Well, I have to say I already feel so privileged to be a finalist because it's brought a lot of, wonderful publicity for me and my work, and I have a gallery representation now that's helping me to get more of my work out there, and so I already feel really fortunate to be a part of this, but winning I think would just propel my career and take me to the next level. And one thing that I would really love is a new studio, because I'm painting in my bedroom right now.
Right.
And to have a space that was designated just for art making, where I could make more work and, have that space just as my own, would be amazing. So that's one of the little things that if I won would be
Brilliant.
It's a big thing, I would say.
Yeah. And what do you think the Bennett Prize means in general for figurative artists, women figurative artists?
I think that what Stephen Bennett and Elaine Schmidt have done with Bennett Prize is really unprecedented. I mean, I don't think we've seen anything like this. Their support of not just the arts, which it began just, their collection, but then they had a purpose to serve women and bring them, up to the level that we see men performing at. Yeah. And so this is amazing, and I'm so honored to be part of it. And the fact that they've also committed to several more, it's only going to get bigger and better, I think, and mean more for recognizing the skills that women have and that they need to be acknowledged for. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, look, best of luck tonight.
Okay.
And talk to you later.
Okay, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nam Greene, congratulations. How's your experience been so far?
It's been wonderful, yeah. I mean, the whole process of surprise phone call from the Bennetts about being the finalist to also just, getting to know other artists, meeting here. It's been wonderful, yes. Mm-hmm.
Great. And what's it going to mean for you if you win?
Good question. I don't know yet because I didn't want to think about I will win, so because that's too much pressure. But it will help me think about the next steps of what next body of work should be, and it will let me focus more in the studio. As everybody else probably told you, most of the artists have very labor-intensive, time-consuming practice. So being able to financially be independent for a couple of years to be able to concentrate in studio work, that's huge, yes. Mm-hmm.
What do you think the Bennett Prize means for figurative art for women just in general?
I mean, the attention is garnering, and then acknowledging the astonishing quality of the work displayed here. I was surprised, very pleasantly surprised to come here and look at the work. The difference between just looking at them by on a computer screen to the real physical experience of it. There's not a single bad painting here, so that has been wonderful. And acknowledging that kind of practice still goes on in the art world. I live in New York, so I see a lot of artwork, and the experience in general is the opposite. It looks really interesting on Instagram or on computer. I go see the work, and it's very disappointing. But here it's exactly the opposite. That's what you want from the artwork. So I think that it's very important for a prize like this exists, not only to acknowledge the women's contribution to the artwork, who is always been, in the background, but also the kind of quality of work that's being done in the studios. That's also very important too. Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Okay, best of luck tonight, and talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
Jennifer Campbell, congratulations. How has the process been for you, the whole experience?
It's been very, very easy. It's been wonderful. Everybody at Muskegon has been super helpful, and yeah, it's been easy and fun.
Great. What's it going to mean for you if you win?
It'll open up a lot of opportunities for me in terms of studio space, in terms of being able to ship work to shows, to different things that are quite difficult for me at the moment.
So how has it been for you looking at the other artists' work and seeing it all together?
It's amazing. It really is. You really can't see what things look like on photos on the internet, and this was like quite stunning. What I see, it's
And the scale.
The scale, yeah. But they really are. They work well together, and everything looks amazing. It's just, I'm quite impressed, and quite like, these women are amazing. They're fabulous artists.
I agree.
Amazing things, and I don't know. It's great to see it all. Yeah.
Okay, look, best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'll talk to you later. Mary Henderson, congratulations. How has the process been so far for you?
It's been terrific. I'm mostly just blown away right now seeing the work on the wall and seeing how beautiful it is. It's really, all the art is so much more stunning in person than online, and so I'm kind of in a daze right now.
What's it going to mean for you if you win?
I don't have any really lofty plans. It would be very pragmatic. It would just go towards student loans.
Okay.
So, in the long term, I guess that would help with studio expenses and stuff. But that's definitely the big thing hovering over me in my life right now.
Okay. What do you think the Bennett Prize means, just in general, for figurative art for women?
I think it's something that's really needed. I think that there are so many tremendous women artists, and I think, I've been reading a lot of articles recently about how difficult it, especially mid-career, is for women artists, and it's very inspiring to see all of these women who are kind of in that mid-career phase having this really terrific opportunity. I think it's like a nice kind of perk just when we all need it.
Brilliant. Okay, well, look, best of luck tonight, and talk to you later. Rebecca Leveille, congratulations. How's your experience been so far?
Well, it's wonderful. I'm sure that you have heard this before from the other artists, but seeing everybody's work and being able to talk with them in person in front of it is what I was looking forward to most. Yeah. You can see the hand of the artist, you can see the brush work, you can see the surface of the paint, and every artist has their own language of the mark that they're making, and it's all just sort of right there speaking to you, and it's a delight. Yeah.
It's great seeing it all together, isn't it?
And seeing the work together is wonderful. You don't really know how things are going to hang together and speak together when you see the individual artists on the website. I mean, you get a sense it's going to be interesting and impactful, but it's seeing all the pieces together is really amazing.
What's it going to mean for you if you win?
Honestly, it's not something you can... it's almost hard to... It's impossible to anticipate the process. What it will mean is incredible things. I mean... I can explore installation ideas of painting in the round, ideas of narrative object, environments, expanding upon what it means to deal with narrative figuration past just an image on a wall, which is something I'm really passionate about. But, I know I care so much about these goals that one way or the other I will make them happen. It's just that this would actually make it such that I could facilitate it probably faster and sooner, and then see that work come to fruition in a traveling venue, and that would be the goal, is to communicate the experience.
What do you think the Bennett Prize means in general for figurative art for women?
I think time people come forward and say, pay attention to this, it's relevant and important, it's a good thing. We're coming into a really potent time of recognition within the art world for voices that have been previously, if not unrecognized, not validated in the same quantity. Something like the Bennett Prize brings forward this idea and says, this mark is important, this moment in time is important, these voices are important, and in the way that women's perspectives have been something that, in my mind, has been sort of tempered all these years, and women figurative perspectives have been tempered by modernism, I think, throughout the 20th century. In some ways, I almost hesitate to say the phrase because it seems a little too catchy, but sometimes I think to myself in the studio that modernism has a great deal of misogyny attached to it. Because the large voices within modernism were predominantly male voices, and the predominantly male voice was coming from a point of saying, we're going to accept this perspective. Inherently, it was a male perspective. Whether or not it was deliberately put forward as that perspective, it was. And all the trappings of modernism, for me, feel very masculine often when I look at them. And women painters, I feel like, within the 20th century, during the time of modernism and the explosion of modernism, and this isn't to diss modernism, I really do love it. It's just that women have never had the freedom up until right now to express what their narratives are and include figures, and because the figure was not accepted within the modernist perspective. So, and at that point also, prior to that, women didn't have these social or societal freedoms to express things the way they wanted to as figurative painters. I mean, even people like Artemisia Gentileschi or Vigée Lebrun or something, they had to work in certain ways in order to exist. Vigée Lebrun had to be a portrait artist because the narrative works, which were considered the penultimate works, really didn't want to have much to do with Vigée Lebrun. But it was okay for a woman to be a portrait artist, not so much otherwise. So women have always been in a place where it's like, we're only going to let you tell part of your story. And then as soon as women had equal rights and started to have more equal rights, we were in the heart of modernism. Yes. And then modernism had all these things that said, well, we're not going to accept narrative and figuration. We're going to focus on giving the power to non-representational. And so at a point at which we could start to speak, we were again told you can't speak in certain ways. And so things like this allow us to say, I will speak in the way I want. I will say the things I want to say with the tools I want to say them with. So
that's the lovely part about the freedom to create whatever solo show you want for the winner. There's no artistic.
There's no criteria in which you have to work within. And that's a great beauty of this prize. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, look, best of luck tonight, and talk to you later. Okay, Stephen and Elaine, congratulations. It's a fantastic show. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Did you think 4 years ago when you were, had this little idea that it would end up being this thing?
I don't think we did. I think our sense was that it was going to be a rock we had to push uphill, but it's really caught fire. I think we're very impressed with the degree of acceptance we've gotten from both the media and from the artists. It's very impressive. What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, we're very excited at the results. Initially, we even wondered if we'd have to do the first show as a pop-up show. Okay. But there was enough interest that obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah, you've really been embraced here. You can feel it. They've really, yeah.
This is a great venue for us. This is a great place. These people in Muskegon believe in it. they really believe in what the prize is about.
Considering, where it's come from to what it is now, has it inspired you to think bigger now?
It's funny you say that. We were just talking about that today, that I think once the dust settles, we're started to brainstorm some other ways that we might be able to help some people, empower some people.
Empowerment. And that's the doctor's word, empowerment. But if we will start thinking about ways in which we can build on what we've started. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would. When you see it, it's just so impressive. It's so big, you kind of think, oh. Okay, so 2 years' time, we're going to be back here. The solo show will be here. We'll be announcing the next winner. If there's somebody, watching or listening, a woman artist, is there anything, now that you've come through, now that it's a solid thing, it's a real thing, it's happened, it's here, is there something you say to them, suggest to them for, the next one?
The prize had as great a demonstration of painterly skills as we've ever seen in a group of painters that had not sold work for $25,000 or more, which was the cutoff. So build your skills and keep working it, because the quality of the work being submitted is very high.
I would add that when it comes time to submit your entries, you're allowed 5 to 7 images. Have them professionally photographed. And secondarily, have somebody else help you choose what you submit.
Okay.
Because there were some artists that we actually knew their work, and we knew they had done other things that we felt perhaps was stronger.
Right.
And that, just like it's good to have somebody else's eye.
Okay.
Yeah, I think perspective, it's tough. An artist works alone a lot. They sometimes lose perspective based on how much they've invested, how much time they have, what the subject matter is. You get your vision clouded a little bit by that, and so it becomes really important to have someone who can kind of help keep your head clear.
Okay, I won't keep you anymore. Looking forward to the announcement, and well done, really well done.
Really appreciate you being here. Thank you for being with us.
We'd like to thank you for your support of the Bennett Prize. We appreciate it very much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Art Martin, congratulations, you're one of the judges. Well done.
Thank you.
How was the experience being one of the judges?
It was a really big surprise, the quality of the work and the amount of work that was submitted. I think we had some high expectations and almost doubled them, so that was great. And just to see the breadth of ideas and really end up with such a great mix of contemporary work. But also, I think, working with the other jurors, seeing things that maybe I didn't see as closely the first time, or things that I was maybe immediately in love with, and then getting that different perspective and realizing, I think, I kind of see that too now, and I think that back and forth really helped kind of explore the work. But it was also great to see some of the ones that grabbed me right away, make it through with all the other jurors. So some of my favorites ended up on the wall.
Oh, brilliant. What do you think the Bennett Prize means for women figurative artists just in general?
I think the big one is to really put it out there that they're not making what's expected, and that I think that's good for figurative art in general. It's timeless. People always return to it, and I think to see it, especially in this current climate, to see it returned to in such a dynamic way, I hope elevates it, I think, in the institutional conversation.
And what does it mean for the museum to have the Bennett Prize here?
For us, immediately what I wanted to bring as the curator was that contemporary work that was immediately accessible but also challenging. And so to be able to bring that to our audiences, this national conversation with these women in such an unexpected way, unexpected voices, just so dynamic to bring that, I guess, that national contemporary flavor to our walls was really big. And then just for the reputation of the museum, which has been growing with several traveling shows in the last decade. It's a wonderful way to put our mark out there, again, in that conversation.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations. You put together a fantastic show, and well done. Andrea Coach, congratulations on being one of the judges.
Thank you.
What was it like?
It was a very enlightening and eye-opening experience for sure. Because initially, when we looked at the artwork firsthand through our own eyes, we see it a certain way. But once the jurors all kind of come together and discuss, their points of view, it really helps you see things in a new way. So there was a definite new appreciation for each entry once we kind of got together and discussed, the different aspects that were strong about it or whatnot. So, no, it was very, it was intense too, because it was quite a process. We went through several rounds because, we had to get through 647 entries to start, and a lot of them were very strong and unique in their own way. So yeah, it's just, it's great and really rewarding to see it all come together today in this exhibition and have it all on the wall.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's great. Was it hard? There were 4 jurors, right? So was it hard, when there's no deciding person?
There were at times, but a lot of us kind of, majority of the time, sort of stuck to our initial gut reactions to each one. That kind of helped carry us through. So,
what do you think the Bennett Prize means just in general for figurative art for women?
I think it's great because it helps promote talent that we haven't seen before, talent that needs to be seen, needs to be heard. Figurative work is very emotionally and labor intensive, and it's wonderful to see it recognized in this way on such a grand scale, and to give these new artists the opportunity to showcase what they do and just, take in the great feeling it is to be honored for the work that they do. So I know firsthand, myself over the years, building up my career and what I do, and just that feeling of when things start to kind of come together. And I think it's wonderful that the Bennetts created this opportunity for these women to kind of get that head start, that a lot of us didn't get. So, things could take a little longer. So it's really great that they have that helpful push and exposure for sure.
Okay, brilliant. Well done. You've done a great job. I wouldn't envy you that job, but so well done, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much, John.
I'm Kirk Hallman. I'm the Executive Director of the Muskegon Museum of Art, and I just got to say the Muskegon Museum of Art is so honored to host the inaugural exhibition of the Bennett Prize. We are. About 2 years ago, Stephen Bennett and Dr. Elaine Melody-Schmidt showed up at our door with the Pittsburgh Foundation in tow, and they had this huge idea to propel the careers of women figurative artists. And they basically came to Art Martin and I and said, show us what you got. And we did. And a month later, we got the prize, and we have been thrilled since then. And it just fits into what we do. This is the kind of project the Muskegon Museum of Art we just thrive on. So, we knew this project was going to be very significant. We knew it would make a difference, but I think it really did surpass our expectations. I mean, there was a lot of nerves over the past couple of years, especially from you two. But this is amazing, and to see Art Martin jumping up and down the hallways, he's not always a happy guy. It's been just terrific. But, so here we are, 2 years later. And upstairs we have 2 galleries full of stunning artworks by women artists. Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing what's upstairs. 2 years later, this prize has a national following. 2 years later, people are paying attention. The art world is paying attention. And this is only the beginning. This is the first night, really. We've been working a long time. They've been working a lot longer than us, but this is the first night. This is only the beginning. So, Stephen and Elaine, congratulations. And thank you. Now I just want to bring to the podium Maxwell King. He's the president and CEO of the Pittsburgh Foundation. He will introduce Stephen and Elaine. Max, in his career, has run a couple of the country's largest philanthropic organizations. He is now with Pittsburgh, of course. And he was also, I was looking up stuff on you, Max. You know, he was also the editor of the Philadelphia Inquirer. And during his tenure, Time magazine named the newspaper as one of the top 5 best newspapers in America. I mean, that's impressive.
And we got a recommendation, I'm happy to say, and they came in to talk to us. And we spent a couple of hours in a long meeting about 3 years ago talking about the work they did as collectors. We marveled at the extraordinary quality of their collection, the interest of all the pictures that they had collected at that point. And then they talked about what they wanted to do, that in their experience as collectors, they had learned the disadvantage that women figurative artists faced in the art world, and they were determined not just to be successful collectors in their focus on women figurative artists, but to do something to change the circumstances in which the art world functioned. And so we had that conversation for a couple of hours, and they left. And then we got back together again, and we talked about, does this make sense for us? This is going to be a national competition, eventually probably an international competition. We're a regional foundation. We do national and international grant making, but most of what we do is regional. We do a lot of arts funding and have for 75 years, but most of that also is regional. And so we sat there wondering, is this the right fit for the Pittsburgh Foundation? And then we looked at each other and we said, we don't give a shit whether this is the right fit. This is too damn good. This is beautiful. This is about art. It's about beauty. It's about justice. It's about equity. It's about opportunity. It's about everything that the power of art can do, and we ain't gonna miss it. And that was our decision. The Bennett Prize, which was permanently endowed in 2016 at the Pittsburgh Foundation, is now the largest award program ever established exclusively for women figurative realist painters. The focus on women artists is absolutely vital. Museums and galleries and the art world have notoriously overlooked the work of women artists, paying less for those works when they do collect them, and collecting them far too seldom. By establishing the Bennett Prize, Stephen and Elaine are, with great sensitivity and clarity, celebrating masters of the form while also addressing these inequities. The Bennett Prize is among the most creative and exciting examples of how our foundation and its Center for Philanthropy can work with donors to turn big, bold ideas into tangible, real projects. We're hopeful that this award program will inspire other philanthropies to develop permanent funding streams for individual artists, particularly women artists and artists of color, whose unique perspectives are needed now more than ever. I'll close with this quote, which we at the Pittsburgh Foundation have found really inspiring, from our friends Stephen and Elaine. Quote, "Figurative realist painting features the human form in all of its diversity. It has an important role to play in a society struggling to understand human differences and commonalities, including race, gender, and social status." So it's my great pleasure now to introduce Stephen and Elaine.
So as we started to discern how we would fill our canvas with our fresh box of tools, we were drawn really to the overarching concept of empowerment. This is what I would name our creations for this stage of our lives. We've been very blessed in so many ways that we felt we were in a position where we could facilitate opportunity and growth circumstances for others. Empowerment of spiritual lives, the empowerment of education, the development of skill sets that lead to empowerment, the role of opportunity and community, and the importance of listening to others so you can understand. So, in a place of priority on our canvas is the Bennett Prize under the title Empowerment. Though we have to say, as other people have alluded to already, others showed up with their boxes of crayons to help us. And some of them had 128 crayons in their boxes instead of our measly 64. But because of that, our canvas now holds masterpiece that these women symbolize. You've all met Max King, who I would call a Renaissance man, who probably has 256 crayons in his box. But I was reading The Good Neighbor, the book on Fred Rogers. And in this book, Fred Rogers is quoted as saying, "When I was a boy, I used to think that strong meant having big muscles, great physical power. But the longer I live, the more I realize that real strength has much more to do with what is not seen. Real strength has to do with helping others." So now I'm going to pass the mic over to Steve, a strong man, who I'm proud to stand by as I watch him grow ever stronger. And he has some remarks of his own. And of those of you who know him, he has many remarks of his own. And then he's going to announce the winner. But thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. It's been an intense number of years, and it is an interesting story that I want to share because I think there's a backstory that's worth telling you and worth you knowing. When we decided to go public with the idea of the Bennett Prize and took the idea on the road, the reactions we got were interesting to say the least and probably extreme. Some people said, quite frankly, "You're nuts. You're nuts." More often, however, as is most often the case in a situation like this, folks nodded politely and then did absolutely nothing to prosecute the idea or give you any help of any sort. There was a subset of people who were even more direct. The doc and I got the door slammed in our faces by more museums than I care to count, phone calls that went unanswered, emails that were ignored, and kind letters that basically said, "Forget about it." I want to point out that through it all, Dr. Schmidt kept her composure and her faith while I raged and stomped and swore and screamed. You can't picture me doing any of this, can you? Her beauty and vivacity and elegance are among the principal reasons why we're here tonight. I love you, Doc. In our discussions, the doctor and I agreed on the basic need. Women artists get the short end of the stick virtually everywhere, museums, galleries, shows, and they get the short end of the stick in every regard. Less money, less recognition, less opportunity. Now, we're collectors, and you know we're collectors, and we could have just kept collecting, and in that way, made a small difference in the lives of the painters whose work we've acquired. But in addition to being self-serving, that has another problem. it isn't a very direct solution to a very crying need. In discussing this problem, we kept coming back to Hillel the Elder. If we're not for ourselves, who is for us? And being for our own selves, what are we? And if not now, when? So we returned again and again and again to the basic premise that women artists are not treated in a fashion equivalent to men, and that there needs to be action taken by us, not by somebody else, not by another collector, not by another philanthropist, by us to address this wrong. And there's a second part to this, for those of you that know the intricacies of the prize. And the second part is that if a woman is a realist painter, she's socked with a double whammy: gender discrimination and genre discrimination. So again and again and again, we were reaffirmed in the notion that we were on the right track with the prize for women figurative realists. But like every fledgling idea, the distance from notion to reality can be long and arduous, and the Bennett Prize has been no different. Fortunately for us, the path was laden with fortuities, which is consistent with our mutual idea that there are no accidents. There are no mistakes of fate. Finally, although really first and foremost in all of these remarks, there are the artists. 647 bold and creative women who took a chance on a competition that, what? It had no history, no track record, no prior finalists or winners, zero antecedents to guide them in their thinking or their submissions. They just kind of showed up and let it all hang out. And aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky that they did? So these women showed us as jurors the breadth and depth of the work being done by women figurative realists in the United States, and I must say that as jurors, we found it breathtaking. What a remarkable universe of work. To say that we were blown away as jurors would be an understatement. We agonized continually over those who could not be chosen because the work was so deserving, and we wanted to honor each and every entrant. Although we set out to name only 10 finalists, only 10, the quality of the work was so superlative that we felt compelled to name 10 honorable mentions, something that was not planned when the jury began its deliberations, but something that was clearly demanded by the compelling nature of the submissions. We look for great things from all 647 women, the honorable mentions, and the finalists, and hope to see them back again as the competition begins anew in 2020. Which brings us now to the finalists. All of us down in front. These 10 women from all over America gave us their best work and impressed us endlessly with their unique visions and their outsized talent. The works of these artists led the jury into endless debates on fundamental questions: the meaning of realism, the importance of figuration, the nature of the creative process, the role of narrative in figurative painting. And as you can see from the work upstairs, as painters, these women are as different from one another as they can be, but they demonstrate the same breathtaking level of talent, although their expressions differ. So now we're at the moment of truth. It's time to name the winner. As a reminder to our audience, the winner will receive $50,000 over a 2-year period, with the expectation that she will mount a solo show that will open here in Muskegon in 2021 and then travel the country. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the first winner of this inaugural Bennett Prize for Women Figurative Realist Painters is Anika Ingold.
Congratulations to you. We're delighted for you. Congratulations.
It's just like many of my paintings, this feels like a dream. But a dream come true. I'm completely overwhelmed. I'm so excited to be part of this really, really important event. And Stephen Bennett and Elaine Schmidt have set this amazing precedent for how much we need to respect and appreciate women in general, but women artists who have really important stories to tell. And I'm so honored to receive this award, but also to just be amongst so many talented, so many skilled, amazing women that I just feel like I made bonds with in the last few hours. Thank you so much. I am going to cherish this moment forever, and this is going to change my life. Thank you.
Okay, well that's it. What a great night. What a great night for figurative art. What a great night for female figurative artists. Congratulations to Aneka, great win. Congratulations to all the finalists and the honourable mentions. It's a brilliant exhibition, really, really good. But particularly as well, congratulations to the Bennetts, to Elaine and Stephen. They did such a great job. It's such a great thing. The whole Bennett Prize, what's behind it, and I'm really glad that I was here to share in it a bit. So I'm sure we'll talk again, but we'll say goodbye for now. Bye.
I've never felt this good in my entire life. Make me some spaghetti. Yeah, we are the Argyle Pimps, so buy us a drink. We're better than you thought, but not as good as we think. We are the Argyle Pimps, so buy us a drink. Come on.